हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू अनदर वीडियो ऑफ स्नोफ्लेक। तो आज के वीडियो हम लोग देखेंगे स्टेजेस को प्रैक्टिकली कैसे बना सकते हैं। आज की सेशन थोड़ी प्रैक्टिकल होने वाली है ऑन द स्टेजेस। जैसे पिछले वीडियो में हम लोग ने स्टेजेस के थ्योरी पार्ट को देखा था, स्टेजेस के थ्योरीज के ऑलमोस्ट सारे चीज़ देख लिए थे। तो आज के वीडियो हम लोग देखेंगे कि स्टेजेस कैसे बना सकते हैं, कैसे एक्सटर्नल स्टेज बना सकते हैं और उसको एक्सेस कैसे कर सकते हैं। तो ये मेरा AWS अकाउंट है। दिस इज द AWS अकाउंट इन विच देयर इज एन S3 बकेट। मैंने फर्स्ट 0202 करके एक S3 बकेट बनाया है। इसमें आप अंदर जाओगे तो यू विल हैव वन फोल्डर और इसके अंदर एक फाइल है test.csv। तो मैं अपने बकेट में जाता हूँ। नाउ विद द हेल्प ऑफ स्नोफ्लेक, जैसे पिछले वीडियो हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था, विल क्रिएट द स्टेजेस। सो वी हैव लिस्ट ऑफ फ्यू कमांड्स वी हैव टू फाइल। एक्चुअली स्टेज बनाने के लिए आपको सिर्फ एक ही कमांड चाहिए, लेकिन इन ए मोर ऑर्गेनाइज्ड वे यू शुड क्रिएट ए डाटाबेस, फिर स्कीमा और उसके अंदर सारे स्टेज को क्लब करो और एक लॉजिकल नेम ऑफ डाटाबेस बनाओ। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल आप यू हैव स्टेजेस, एक्सटर्नल स्टेजेस ऑफ मल्टीपल लिंकिंग, यू हैव मल्टीपल एक्सटर्नल स्टेज, सो क्रिएट ए डिफरेंट डिफरेंट स्कीमा फॉर ईच स्टेजेस। एक हर एक कनेक्शन के लिए अलग स्कीमा आप बनाओ। तो यहाँ पे मैं बनाता हूँ सबसे पहले एक डाटाबेस बनाता हूँ जो स्टेजेस जितने भी इंफॉर्मेशन इसी डाटाबेस में रहेगी। सो यू विल क्रिएट ए डाटाबेस, क्रिएट और रिप्लेस डाटाबेस मैनेज डीबी। इसको रन करता हूँ मैं। So this is already created. You can see this manage underscore db. It was already created. So for this case, I'll change the name. What I will do, manage underscore db class. So this has been created. When you will refresh this one, तो आपको ये दिखेगा manage db class। इसके अंदर अभी इसकी जो by default information schema और public schema है, but none of the schema which we have created. So what we'll do, we'll create an schema and we'll put it, the schema name has external stages underscore class. So this schema is created, and when you will refresh this, you will see this schema is created. Okay, there is no object inside this. So we'll create an object, stage object. So create or replace object, manage. We have to give fully qualified name of the location till the schema name and that stage's name. Because my worksheet, I have not put the setting like which is my current database. So we have to give the fully qualified name. So manage underscore db underscore class and then external stages underscore class dot aws stage underscore class. So give the same name, and then we have to specify the location, किस लोकेशन से स्टेजेस में डाटा आने वाली है या स्टेजेस किस लोकेशन का इंफॉर्मेशन रखने वाला है, इन विच देयर विल बी द सोर्स डाटा. So this will point to my S3 bucket. So I have a S3 bucket called first 0202 in which I can have multiple files. So currently I have one file inside this bucket, first 0202. So from where you will get the path, you will just go there. You will just click on this and you can copy the S3 URL. So we are back to the bucket section. Now we have to give the credential. So you will have one user in the AWS और उस यूज़र का आप एक्सटर्नल लिंक बनाओगे जिसमें AWS की आईडी एंड AWS सीक्रेट की आप बनाओगे। तो उसके लिए यू नीड टू गो इनटू द IAM and you will see, go into the user. So I have one user called Santosh. You can click on this and then आपको इस security credential पे जाना है and here you can create the access. It will ask you to create the access key. So just click on create the access key. For example, I want to run it from the application which is outside AWS. In your case, there will be also Snowflake. So you click on this और इसके बाद आप next click करो. So एक tag दो, एक नाम, for example class Snowflake. So this is the tag name, class Snowflake. Okay. Now create an access key. Now you will see with that name, this access key has been created. So this is your access key which we have mentioned here. Okay, and this is the access key. You can copy it from here and you can paste it in the key. Remember, just copy this access key and this password somewhere in some location, क्योंकि आप एक बार इसको, या तो आप इसको डाउनलोड भी कर सकते हो, एक बार इसको आप डन करोगे, so you cannot get the password from here. You can, you'll have the key but you will not get the password from here. This is your, this is what we have created now. ठीक है? So you can deactivate it, you can delete it, what all thing you can do it here. So we are using this access key, and आप यहाँ पे access key and password जो secret key है वो आप दोगे. सो अभी स्टेजेस लर्न करने का प्रोसेस में इसको मैंने हार्ड कोडेड किया है, बट देर आर मल्टीपल वेज जिसमें आप बेटर वे आप क्रेडेंशियल यहाँ पे पास कर सकते हो एज ए पैरामीटर. सो जस्ट फॉर द लर्निंग पर्पस विल सी कि लेटर ऑन कि पासवर्ड को कैसे हम लोग मोर सिक्योर वे से इसमें पास कर सकते हैं. तो करेंटली वी आर गिविंग इट इन ए हार्ड कोडेड वे. सो वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट द स्टेजेस AWS स्टेज क्लास. अभी आप देखोगे यहाँ पे किसी भी तरह का स्टेज नहीं है. So I'll just copy this and run this. So stage area, AWS stage class successfully created. So now when you will refresh this, you will see this stage. And this is pointing to this AWS account. When you click on this, you can see this information, the owner of that particular account, what is the reason, and what type of stage is this. So this is an external stage you can see in the type. Now, if you want to see the detail of this stage, so you can directly go and describe it. You will have all the details of the stages. What is the file type? It's a CSV file. Then what are the by default? What all things default values which is in these stages? Everything will be mentioned here. Okay. Now, if you want to see all the files inside the stage, so you have to use the list command, and then so this file is there. When you go to this path S3, so we have this file. If you have multiple files and we have multiple directories and multiple file inside the bucket first 0202, you will get this list here. So you have this list, the size is there. MD5 is, you know, this MD5 is hash code for checking the source and target if the data is correct or not. So when it was last modified, every details you can see. Now we will look into how we'll copy this into our tables. So currently what we have done, we have just created the stages, and stages is being linked to a particular external location. In our case, the external location is AWS bucket, but we have not copied the data. Data is still not copied. It is just like a mounting of the drive, how we do the external drive mount. So this is just like a mounting of the drive, and we have just added the stages. Now we'll see how we'll copy the data from the stage to the table. तो उसके लिए सबसे पहले मैं देख लेता हूँ कि कौन कौन से स्टेजेस हैं. सो अभी हम लोग ने एक स्टेज बनाया AWS स्टेज क्लास, और इसको लिस्ट करता हूँ तो कौन कौन से फाइल हैं इस स्टेजेस में. विल सी दैट. सो वी हैव वन फाइल test.csv, छोटी साइज है क्योंकि इसमें एक ही रिकॉर्ड है. अभी मैं एक डाटाबेस क्रिएट करूँगा, और वो डाटाबेस एक्चुअल में डाटा स्टोर करेगी. जैसे हम लोग ने एक मैनेज डीबी क्लास बनाया था जिसमें स्टेजेस के सारे इन्फॉर्मेशन और जितने भी स्टेजेस हम लोग बनाएंगे इसके अंदर रहेगी. अभी मैं एक डाटाबेस बनाने वाला हूँ माई क्लास डीबी. So I have already created this one. So you can see somewhere here, my class DB. So my class DB, and it have a schema called external ext data, and we are going to create a table. So currently the file which we have, if you open this file, so you have only one data, Santosh, and the address is Delhi. So actually my table have a structure called name and address. So there is one record with the structure as name and address. So this is the header. We will skip the header. Otherwise, the header will be considered as a row, as a new row. So we don't want to consider the first row as a data. The second row is only the data. So we have only one actual record here. So what we are going to do, we are going to create the table first. So इसी schema में my class db database के अंदर जो ext data schema है, उसके अंदर we will create a table called test data. We have only two columns, name and address. So we given it a varchar. So we'll just create this one. let me see, created this one. Now you have this, we'll refresh this, so schema is there. Now we'll go and create this table. Okay, so the table is created. Now when you refresh this, you will have this table. You can directly go from, you can see the number of rows is 0, and there is no data into it. You can also look into the structure of this table. We'll go and see there is no record inside the table, so let us start from table. Now this is the important part. We have to create the copy the data from the stage to the table. So in the previous session हम लोग ने देखा था copy command is the most important command to copy the data from an external stage to the table, to the Snowflake database table. So we'll use copy command, copy into, this is my table name, from @ and this is the fully qualified name of the stage, database name dot schema name dot stage. What is the file format? My file format is CSV. What is the file delimiter? Means how the columns are being separated is the comma separation. And I want to skip the header because in the header itself I have given the column name, which should not be the case in the actual data. So we'll skip the header. So if in the actual data also, if there is a header in the database, so as per the requirement, if your requirement is that you don't have to pull the header, so you have to skip the header. In most of the cases, we don't need to look into the header. We don't need to pull the header. We create the header itself here when we create the table. So we'll run this command. So it has passed one row. The status is loaded. So now, for example, when you have multiple stages, you are creating a load program, you have created a load job, जो आपके स्टेजेस से एक्सटर्नल टेबल में या एक्सटर्नल स्टेजेस से टेबल में डाटा मूव कर रहा है, तो एवरी टाइम आप यूआई से नहीं करोगे. तो विद द हेल्प ऑफ पाइथन लैंग्वेज, विद द हेल्प ऑफ पाइथन, यू विल कनेक्ट टू स्नोफ्लेक, you will load the data, you will get the status from here. There are multiple tables, internal tables, from where you will get the stages. You will return the stages to the job, and ultimately your scheduler will show that these many records has been passed. This is the current status of the data which is being loaded from the external stage to your table. तो हम लोग आगे के कुछ आगे सेशन में हम लोग ये भी देखने वाले हैं कि पाइथन से कैसे हम लोग स्नोफ्लेक में कनेक्ट करके जितने भी काम हम लोग यहाँ पे कमांड लाइन से कर रहे हैं इन द स्नोफ्लेक यूआई, you can also do that with the help of Python language, with the other language also, but we'll use here Python as a language to look into all the programming stuff in the Snowflake. आपको UI का एक्सेस होगा हर एक प्रोजेक्ट पे, वो कोई इशू नहीं होने वाली है. बट कोई बैच जॉब आप रन कर रहे हो तो इन द बैच जॉब you will not be monitoring, you will not sitting in front of the system to run all this command. You have to run it from the job. So Python is widely used for connecting to Snowflake and doing all the stuff. So we have one row passed, one row has been loaded. There is no error seen. Okay. Now we'll see the data here. So we have one row, Santosh and address. So next time I'll come up with more variety of data, with the more complex data, multiple rows with multiple columns. Few things more to discuss in this video. सबसे पहली चीज @ सिंबल जो हम लोग यूज करते हैं, दिस इज टू डिनोट द एक्सटर्नल स्टेज. फॉर वर्किंग विद एक्सटर्नल स्टेज व्यू वी राइट @ सिंबल. ठीक है. The second thing, we have already loaded the data into this table. If we again try to load the data with this copy command, we already have a data. We can see that we already have a data. So we have one record. Now again, we want to do the same thing, copy command. It will show copy executed with 0 file process. So every time when you try to run the copy command, it will check that if a data has been copied or not. So this way we can put a strategy in our job. A particular job has been completed successfully by rerunning it, or there are multiple strategies we can put it. But this information is important to know that when you run the same command with the same file location, you will get the 0 file process if the data has been loaded into your table. So in the next session, I'll come with a few scenarios in this external file, external stage load, where we'll try to manipulate with the data, and we'll also try to put the uneven data and see that how the Snowflake behaves, what are the exception type, on how to deal with all that exception, how to skip the warning, how to skip some of the errors. So that we'll see in the next class. If you have any doubt, please put in the comment. I'll come up with the solution. और प्लीज मेरे वीडियो को सब्सक्राइब करें, वीडियो को लाइक और शेयर करें. तब तक के लिए बी हैप्पी एंड कीप लर्निंग.